soul binds and all that fun stuff. Oh yeah, hold on, legendaries. You Lego dairies. Where the I gotta navigate this stupid thing. Right? Okay. So they're really trying to push this whole flame shock agenda. So they recently buffed Skybreaker's fiery demise, so it's 50% now instead of 30%, right? And so it makes it so, and Fire Elemental makes Flame Shock last 100%. So it makes it last 100% longer, right? So, in theory, this one would only be, it pushes a funneling agenda for council fights, right? But there's only like, I don't know how much health these things have, right? So this guy he has ads. I don't know how it works. They have ads. He has ads. So that's 2. 3, 4, possibly 5. I bet this sword doesn't have a lot of health. Right? And there's gonna be some of these ads that don't have a lot of health, right? So there's like 5 fights where you're just gonna be funneling. But most situations in this game generally are single target situations. And even when you're AoEing, you're mostly also doing single target onto the primary target while you're cleaving things down. So I'm like, I guess it's alright. It pushes a build that it's not really all that great. Echoes of the Great Sundering. Um, my favorite legendary from Legion. My issue here is that it doesn't give you the free Earthquake like it used to. So you have to generate the Maelstrom to get the Earth Shock, and then you have to generate the Maelstrom again to get the Earthquake, just for your tank to move the target out of your Earthquake. It doesn't do anything immediately. Like, at least Skybreaker's Fiery Demise, when you pop Fire Elemental, it does something immediately. Um, Elemental Equilibrium, it does something throughout the entire time you have this legendary on, and this is probably my favorite one for at least this expansion. Right, so fire gives your, and see this whole legendary is the whole idea of elemental. It blends elements together. It kind of forces Ice Fury, but it blends them together. So fire will proc frost, frost will proc nature, nature will proc fire. That's just how the specs just work in general. And you know, this is like this is my favorite personally. When you cast Surf Shock, you get a Lava Surge. You can get Lava Burst damage. No complaints. Just decent. Right, this one is just sad now. It's a sad boy for me. Very, very, very sad. More Bloodlust. Earth Elemental has a permanent Earthquake attached to it. Five-minute cooldown. Five-minute cooldown. There you go. Casting Lava Burst gives you Ascendance for 6 seconds. It's cool. Chain Devastation. I like the idea of this one. So, Chain Heal makes your Chain Lightning instant and deal more damage, and then Chain Lightning makes your Chain Heal instant cast and consume some mana. I like this one a lot. It's just bad in practice because you have to spend the global to cast the Chain Heal to get the more Lava Burst, to get the more Chain Lightning. But like I like the idea. And I'm gonna talk about all these other ones because I personally think they're shit, but I'm probably wrong. Okay, most of these things are probably shit, but they're probably in a very specific situation. Like this one, you probably really only take for like Torghast or you're in the mall, right? And this one, probably the same thing, Torghast or the mall. This one's for movement, which you don't need. Not really, because you have Spirit Walker's Grace, and if Spirit Walker's Grace is down, you should just stutter step to the thing anyway. And maybe these will find some PvP situations too. Maybe. Who knows? All depends on the holy scaling. I think that's about it for in-game stuff, and everything else I have is just like complaining about general things, so let's complain about general things then. Aqua Shaman doesn't have a way to summon the Fire Lord. If I wanted to push for something cool, that's the one thing I'm pushing for, like right here. So, monks can invoke their celestial thing they're tied to. Windwalkers get Tony the Tiger. Mistweavers get 2. And monks and brewmasters can summon their ox, right? Why can't I summon a Fire Lord? Right? They haven't done anything like Warlock Green Fire. They could so easily make two quests here. Here we go. Right? You make one where you make your Fire Elemental essentially Ragnaros. Old school Ragnaros. They have the model and they're wasting the model. Right? And if we take Primary Elementalist, then it's a rag with legs. And that'd just be cool. It does nothing but just be cool. And people might ask, what about Enhanced Shaman? This is a thing for me with Enhanced. I think Feral Spirit should just become a passive like Elemental's Mastery should be, and Feral Spirit should just be a passive. When you Storm Strike, you fucking wake the ancestors up, and they come out in the pack in wolves, and then if you're lucky, that just RPPMs, so you have like 6 wolves out if you're lucky, and I just think the wolf pack would just be cool too, right? And then you give them Storm Elemental. So this talent right here, get it out of here. So then you give them Storm Elemental, and that becomes their damage cooldown. So Storm Elemental with this quest talent Green Walkfire just becomes Alakir. And then Shamans, Healing Tide Totem, just become Tide Elemental. It's basically a water elemental, but it's Tide, so it's different. It just does the same thing as a Healing Tide, except it yeets out chain heals, and when it yeets out the chain heal, the target it hit with the chain heal also gives them Riptide, and I don't know if that's what it does. I don't think Healing Tide does that now. But there you go. It just yeeting out stuff, and that'd just be way cooler than fucking Healing Tide Totem. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about totems. I gotta get back into those. That's a PvP thing. It just yeets out the fucking Healing Tides. Alright, and then that just turns into Neptulon. Right, and there should be like and then this, can have a defensive talent that has something to do with Therazane. There is no love for the Earth Mother, ever. One talent idea I had for like a defensive talent was, oh yeah, I didn't talk about my talent changes. One talent change I had was Therazane's Embrace, which just basically took Earth Elemental, right? It gets rid of Earth Elemental, or it replaces Earth Elemental, or it makes Earth Elemental do that when you hit the button. Earth Elemental like runs into you and then like wraps around you and like armor, and it reduces damage by like, I think I had like 80%, so it's a big damage DR. The trade-off is you can't move, which I think is a fair trade-off for having a big damage reduction. Shadow Priest can still just fucking run and get healed in theirs, but I just stand still. Fair trade, honestly, for not having anything. What else did I fucking have? Oh, yeah, I had like Therazane's Embrace. A lot of things were tied with the Fire Lord. Because my elemental's chosen lord deity is fire, right? There's nothing that gives me any kind of connection to my lord. My lord is the Fire Lord, and I want to be one with my lord, but I can't because Blizzard won't let me. Oh yeah, totems. Okay, let's go in the fucking totems in PvP, right? I'm gonna have to chop this whole thing up. So, totems in PvP fucking P, right? So, cap totem, right? Cap totem's an AoE stun. It takes 2 seconds to ramp up to stun everybody for 3 seconds, so it's got nerfed. Within the 2 seconds, it is killed or they move away. Another reason why Shaman has no survivability is because it can't escape. Right? I don't have Earth Root anymore. I don't have Gust of Wind anymore. So I can't effectively get away from people. You can't slow them enough. Right? Cap Totem. Alright, I'm gonna stun them. Killed. Alright, I'm gonna slow them with my fucking Earthbind. It gets killed. You cast Hex, you juke the Hex. You get both kicks in the one Hex, and that's great. But then, the moment you try to go for the Hex, they fucking stun you, and you're fucking dead. Right? You know, oh, I'm just going all over the place, man. Ancestral Shift, I mean, it's just better to just get this shit recorded and then edit it later. Astral Shift, there's no reason why Astral Shift just can't be used in a stun. Like, I don't, the weakest defensive class gets no benefit for defense. Right? There's no excuse why Astral Shift cannot be used in a stun. There's really just no excuse for it. Oh, it's almost been an hour. That's good. No excuse. Right. Another thing is, if I'm like one with the elements, why can't I fucking prevent all magic damage with something? I am he that imbues all the elements. Fucking nature, frost, fire, not arcane. Okay, so besides arcane, right? And depending on how I feel mentally, you could be a corrupted shaman, which is another quest thing that I had. You could be a corrupted shaman, so the shadows can't harm me either. Why don't I have something that does that? Why does Ancestral Shift not cover magic damage as well? That should just be 100% magic damage reduction. Because you're shifting into the plane of the elements, so why does Frost hit me? Why? Oh my, yeah, by the one. So there should be a PvP talent that just makes totems not get killed by damage. I had a whole beef with fucking cap totems to begin with, like... Personally, I think cap totem by itself should just be removed, because I'm like, come on, we don't even have fucking totems anyway, we only have 2. Healing stream now, right? I think cap totem just removed in general, and then Thrall's Earth Hand that he used against Garrosh to give him the big thunderfuck. Just make that where cap totem is. You make that a single target stun, 5 seconds, 1 minute, 45 seconds, whatever you have, right? You just make it that. And then you could have a talent right here, static fucking charge, right? Where it just makes more hands. And now you at least have something. Because even in PvP, you could take that and double stun 2 melee and get away. At least every 45 fucking seconds. It's something. It's not much, but it's something. Fucking. Oh yeah, Earth Shield. Oh yeah, I guess we'll just talk about talent refinement here. Earth Shield. I think that this talent right here should just be something that combines Earth Shield and Lightning Shield together. That way, I mean, you could throw this on people too. So it acts as a thorn, which also generates Maelstrom for you because if they're not targeting you, Lightning Shield is useless. But if they're targeting your Hunter bro, you throw this on him, he gets a 20% healing, and he's getting attacked, so he is doing damage to them, and you're also generating Maelstrom too. It's a win-win. It's a good. That makes it a dank-ass talent. There you go. It's fixed. I fixed it. Congratulations. Uh, there's so much stuff. Also, tidbit: reincarnation is not a defensive. Also, there's no reason why reincarnation cannot reset after a fight. There's no reason. Then it could be used as a cooldown because you just reincarnate yourself. However, you lose all your buffs and shit. So it's not. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. You wanna know how Ankh is mostly used too to begin with, right? If you're not about to kill it, if everybody dies and you didn't get a battle res out, you Ankh and res the healer, and that's basically its purpose in a raiding situation. Shaman just needs to get its utility back. Has it's basically Stormlash. Enhance have Stormlash totem. Ellie has nothing. Resto has nothing. But Resto doesn't really need something to bring to the raid because Resto Shaman is probably the best stacking healer in the entire game. So it's got that. And Spirit Link is fucking dank. But, like, there's no reason why Sky Fury Totem can't be a baseline ability to make it passive, like to bring a reason to bring a shaman. There's no reason why I can't. It'd be another totem because we don't have fucking totems. Wrath of the Air totem. Honestly, I would like to see the 4 buff totems just come back. Right? If you make their range like 100 fucking yards, like you make their range massive, so you only really have to drop in one time, maybe twice, and you just bring back Call of the Ancestors, Call the Elements, Call the Ancestors, Call the Spirits, whatever, pick one, doesn't matter. And again, you just bring all those back. You bring Wrath of the Air, fucking, you have Sky Fury here, so it'd be Total Mastery, but it'd all be buffs. You'd have Wrath of the Air, you'd have Sky Fury, you'd have something for melee, something for tanks, something for healers, and something for ranged DPS. Right? Elemental Shaman would have a place in the raid. Because you can't get that anywhere else because they already gave Bloodlust to everybody that exists. Literally everybody has Bloodlust because you can just make it as a leather worker and sell it. So everybody has Bloodlust. Bloodlust is not special. It used to be, it's not. It's no longer. Fix Ellie's ramp up. Fix these talents, dude. Like, seriously, make Echo baseline. There's just no excuse. Just make it baseline. Just fucking make it baseline. That's all I gotta say for that. This talent is fucking useless, and it's been useless since it came into the game. Fucking get rid of it. Urban Rage is fine. It's fine. Urban Rage is kind of like a perfect talent. It does nothing. It does, like, for first one, it does nothing. It's not really super necessary, but it's used in certain situations. It's used in a lot of different situations. Like, this is the PvP talent, right? Just fix this. Elemental Blast. I think Elemental Blast should just be baseline, right? And it just becomes an execute. It just becomes an instant damage execute because everybody and their mom are getting executes, but I don't got an execute, and I would want an execute. And then Enhance could get it and make it an execute. Bam, there you go. because this is like the coolest spell animation in the game, and it's never fucking used ever. I already talked about this row. This ramp up is dumb. It should just be 20 to begin with. It should just be 20. Just buff the wolf. Buff the wolf. Make earthquake nature. Make this, get the physical out of it. Get out of the way. And just get it out of here. And this used to actually just be a baseline ability that shamans had, just by the way. Fix liquid magma total. Make it do flame shocky damage. This used to be baseline. And now it's a talent nobody takes. And they took it off to global. Why? This is still not going to really be used. I guess in raiding. I guess it might be used in raiding. But like... Also, this got nerfed. This used to be 30 seconds. This is another defensive option. Nerfed. Make fire elemental off the global. I don't even know if Incendius is off the global. None of our defenses are off the global. Make it off the global. This is fine. This just whatever. This whole role is kind of whatever. All three of these have seen play in some shape or form. This, not really. Unlimited power, not really. Especially with buff descendant. So, like, you got, like, all these useless talents. You got all these useless talents. Hell, one of the utility PvP talents, there used to be a glyph that made Purge have a 10-second cooldown, but it purged off 2 things. Bring that back. That was dope. I'd love to have that. That is very good in many situations. For PvP, anyway. Gust of Wind could be a PvP talent. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just throwing shit out there that it was cool, and we had, and you can do. But they're not going to do it. Make cool class things. Right? I want to be able to summon the Fire Lord. By my flames, the world shall be purged. Right? And, like, fix the fucking... Right? You're never going to be able to balance these things. Right? One is going to always be better than the other, but, like, you can't fix the balance, but you can fix consistency. Right? This... Revendreth is always consistent. Knife is always consistent. Vesper Totem is always consistent. This shit right here is never, ever going to be consistent unless it's on single target. And then if it's on single target, it's fucking weak. This shit needs to buff Flame Shock. Like, this thing needs to buff Lava Burst by 200% on a single target. This, like, and if it either needs, this either needs to hit for like 3k, or it needs to buff Lava Burst damage by like 200%. Straight up. Straight up fixed. Right? And then you can have the reduced Lava Burst damage, because then it won't matter. Right? Because realistically, you're only ever going to hit 2 people. Actually, yeah, you're only going to ever hit 3 people. The Liquid Magma Totem needs to change as long as Flame Shock has a cooldown. So I would change the thing to make Flame Shock not have a cooldown. Why is Flame Shock the only dot in this entire game that has a cooldown? It doesn't make any sense. Imagine a Boomkin having to wait to put up Moonfire and Sunfire. Imagine that. Imagine a Shadow Priest have to wait to put on Vamp and Shadow Word Pain. Imagine a fucking Warlock having to wait to put up their fucking bajillion dots, but I gotta wait 5 seconds to apply another one? Why me? Why only me? Why me? Why no one else? There's no more shock iteration. Just fucking get rid of it. Just get rid of the cooldown. It does not need to exist. How do you homogenize all the classes to make them play the same, but Shaman is like this redheaded stepchild that like you just push to never exist until people start complaining about it in like the second iteration of the patch? Because it's like every 8.2, 7.2, fucking 6.2, there's always a Shaman changes because they always are like at the beginning, we band-aid solution the Shamans, and then here comes 8.1 and everybody's like, where's the change? There's no change for Shamans. Even when non-shaman people are fucking like, what the fuck is wrong with elemental? You just don't pretend they exist, and they're like, okay, have a little bit of shit, and then they do that, and then they buff the fuck out of mages, rogues, and hunters. So it's like all those changes to shaman are just irrelevant. So shaman just stays in the same place it always has been, and it never fucking moves, and we get like 2 seconds of glory. It's bullshit. I'm tired of that shit. I just went off. Yeah, I think that was it. I could do that for a lot longer, but I don't think that's very good for the YouTubes. I'm definitely gonna leave that part in though somewhere. Yeah, I think I'm out of I think I'm out of stuff for now. If I come up with more stuff, I'll do a part 2 of this, or if this video, I mean, it's like if it's long enough, I'll just make a part 2, and we'll go at it again. Revenge of fucking Return of the Jedi. Um. So yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully I'll do another one of videos kind of like this. It's like the first time I've ever shown my face, cause I've done a non-reading oriented video. I kind of like doing this. Kind of just like fucking showing the world how crazy I am, and or really just how much I love Elemental. Cause like I love Shaman. I love Shaman so much. No other class that I play in any game feels the same way as Shaman does for me. I love Shaman. I love it from the bottom of my heart. And I just hate how it is. And how it is constantly treated. And I just want some change. That's all. That's all. Alright, I think that's the end of this video. I think that's it. Alright, see you people later.